Hey Cameron, this is day 2. We're looking at your backstroke. I'm just going to let it run all the way through from the above perspective. You can take a look at it and then I'll let you know what I think. Alright. Great head position. Your head's nice and still. It's not swaying side to side and it's looking up. It's good. Okay. Let it run one more time. As you come up with your pull, rather than pulling both arms at the same time, try to pull one arm and then the other shoulder will kind of pop up. We can talk about that when we look from the below perspective as well. I'm going to pause it here so that I can start to look at your hand entry. Okay. What you're going to see is that as you come around, okay, actually it's a little different per stroke. So this is your right arm that's entering right now. You can see it's nice and straight and it enters right above your shoulder. That's great. Now ideally, your left arm would do the same thing. It would be nice and straight and it would enter right above your shoulder, which would be right about here. You can see that as you come around, you actually start to bend it a little bit, okay? And then it reaches right over the center line of your body, over your head, and it's going to enter about here, okay? As a result, the initial part of your pull with that arm is out towards the side as opposed to down by your feet, which means that you're actually going to be moving your body side to side rather than just directly back. Okay, that's just wasted energy as a result. So try to work on keeping your arm straight and entering right at like 11 and 1 o'clock as opposed to right at 12 o'clock, which is what you're doing now. And again, I do think it's more of just an issue with your left hand. Let's take a look below and see what we see. Okay, there you are. So you can see that you pulled immediately with both arms and that popped you right up to the surface. When you do that, that means that there's this big pocket of water that's essentially stopping you. So try to come slowly up to the water and just take a pull with one hand, and then your other shoulder will just pop up. That'll be a lot better. Okay. I'll let it run all the way through so that you can see it as well. Okay. Nice strong kick. Okay. You can see you can see that you're doing a good job rotating. Okay. I think you could work a little bit more on that rotation. You have the beginnings of it, but you could work to practice a little bit more. You're better at rotating towards the camera than away from the camera is what I'm seeing. Okay. Now, if we pause it a little bit, I just want to look at your pulls underwater. Okay. You can see that as you pull, your arm stays very, very straight. As a result, what you're doing is actually pulling towards the camera and pulling yourself away from the camera, rather than pulling down by your feet and pulling yourself to the other end of the pool. Okay. So, the best way that you can work to improve your stroke is by bending your elbow right here. Okay. Let me just show you a picture of what this would look like. Okay. So you can see, this girl, rather than having her arm straight like you have, she actually starts to bend her elbow, and then she uses her forearm, okay, as like a paddle in a boat, to push water towards her feet, and that immediately sends herself going to the other end of the pool. Okay, that's going to allow you to get some catch in your backstroke. Okay. Just going to look one more time. And I'm this time looking at the timing of your stroke. So here your hand enters, it's pulling, okay, and then there's your hand enters. Your timing's not bad. I've definitely seen worse, but I think that you can improve it a little bit. So what I would do is, once your hand is here and about to pull, I would wait a little bit for this other arm to be about straight up out of the water, maybe even a little bit behind about to enter. That way you're going to have a little bit more weight in the front of your body, and that's going to help your body position a little bit. It's also going to mean that you're constantly in a position where you're ready to pull, rather than getting a kind of lag in your stroke. Your body position overall, if I move back right in front of the camera, isn't bad. By any means, it's great. So you can see your head's up at the surface, your knees are up at the surface, and your hips just a little bit below. So you actually have a good body position. You have what we call a canoe shape, which is the goal. Okay? Here you are, here an Olympian is. Not much different, so that's great. So just to review, some easy ways to improve. Work on your rotation. Work on not overreaching, so you want your hands to enter at 10 and 2, maybe 11 and 1, and then begin to introduce a bend in your arm as you take a pull so that you can catch some water and flick it towards your feet. Good job, Cameron. Look forward to seeing your breaststroke and butterfly in the days to come.